Chris continues to search for a cure for blood rage, and things heat up when some old friends return. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve from Valhartv, and today I'll be reviewing Discovery of Witches Season 3, Episode 2. So this episode begins with Chris continue his work on uncovering a cure for blood rage, but they need help, but he needs more people. And Matt is reluctant to include more people because the more they're exposed, the more at risk everybody becomes. From the council to actual human beings. So he's very reluctant. And we do actually get some really good dialogue between the two of them, you know, later on in the episode, which I thought was actually good. I didn't mind it at all. But when they go to leave, Father Hubbard shows up with a little surprise for Diana and Matthew, and I was like, wow, what? I was like, that's actually pretty cool. But I kind of figured that might be who it was because of everything happening in season 2 with the portraits of Diana and Matthew being stolen, things like that. I was kind of thinking it might be who he brought back with him. And we come to find out that Father Hubbard actually has a couple of secrets, you know, about this person that he brings back with him and about who sired him. But, you know, this is where it gets really good because he's like, you didn't really leave me a choice. You asked me to do something. And Diana's like super happy, of course, but Matthew he's happy, but he's not happy. And yeah, it goes on. It's great. And Knox is still running around trying to find these pages. And he's trying to get Satu to help him. And yeah, that does not go over well with her, man. She actually shows him a little bit of her power, and he is shocked that she refuses to do whatever he says. And he pulls out the little device in his pocket that he always has because that's the only real power this guy has. So he's desperate. You can tell he's getting more and more desperate to get a hold of this book so he can regain his magic and power. So, and I thought this was really well done, man. This was great. That scene where him and Satu talk and she's like, "You can't control me anymore." Oh yeah, that was fantastic. I really did enjoy that. And then we have good old Baldwin. He shows up in London and finds out about the person, he finds out about the surprise person that Father Hubbard brought back. And he ends up getting in a fight, and this doesn't go well for that other person. So this was really kind of good, and he's really upset after he gets attacked and then he bites that other person. He finds out some stuff, and he's trying to exert control over everybody in the family. He's demanding that people do what he wants them to do because he's the head of the family. And this isn't really going over well with anybody, and he's getting very frustrated. So we're going to really see some good stuff from him, I think. I really kind of am wondering if he is trying to play the long game or if he's just really that bent on power, you know, and maintaining control over the family, over everybody. So we really get this whole emotional scene, too, with him and Diana, because Diana is like, no, you're not going to do whatever you want, and she wraps a chain around his neck. I was like, dang. I was like, you don't mess with her, right? I was like, really? And so that was a good one, too. But then we have Domenico, we have Jabert, plotting to take down the de Clermont family, and they bring in Benjamin. Now, Benjamin, we saw a little bit of last season, and he is kind of the puppeteer for some stuff, but I'm wondering who's pulling Benjamin's strings, because this is going to be getting real good, and Domenico is not really happy to see Benjamin. He kind of like shuts up and he just is like, he won't even look at him. So I thought that was another good part of this episode as well. And of course, Jabber is gloating that they're going to get the de Clermonts finally. And he's going to take control and have power over, like, whatever, everything, I guess. His motives still aren't super clear other than the fact that he wants the de Clermont family gone. So I am very interested to see what's going to happen with this next. And honestly, I feel like Jabber is getting ahead of himself. You should never count your chickens before they're hatched. And yet he's kind of gloating. He's like, let's just let it ride out. Our enemies are going to destroy themselves, and then we're going to swoop in and finish them off. And it's just like, wait, what? So that's kind of how it seems to me like he's coming off. He's really coming off very strong like that. And this episode ends with Marcus and Matthew and another person heading to New Orleans to start a new branch of the family. And this is where Matthew gets a phone call and says, check your email, and it's Benjamin. And I was like, what? I was like, dude, that's crazy. Dude, the way they ended this was so good. Again, the effects in this were all practical effects. They were all good. Baldwin in this and Father Hubbard were, I thought, very, very good in this episode. I mean, so far, everybody's been really good, but I thought these two stood out a lot more in this episode than in the other episodes that they've been in. So I really like that. And with the reveal from Benjamin, we see that he's been planning revenge on Matt for quite a while. It's crazy. And with the return of Father Hubbard and his the person he sired, I don't want to spoil it because it's really good. It's really good. There's a real need for the cure for blood rage. So we're really seeing a lot of this stuff start to boil over. And there's a war brewing in the shadows, between the witches and the vampires. Man, this is going to end up being really good. And there's real tension rising up between the two families. So, I mean, who's going to come out on top? That's the big question. Who's going to come out on top? Is it going to be Matthew and Diana? Or is it going to be Jabber and the council? Who's really going to win this? I mean, we're going to have to really stay tuned to find out. I would give this episode at least a 9 out of 10. This was really good. The dialogue in this was also really good. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe. And also leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this episode. Take care for now, everyone.